All right, Shalom. Let's start up saying Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Harakak Kudash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, double honors to my elder apostles as well. I heard one by y'all all down here in the line, thank you. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, now. All right, I'll come out to by Yashar from the Lions and Yashar camp. This is another Lions and News and Prophecy. So let's get down to it. I'm not gonna have a whole lot of scriptures going into this topic. I just thought it was quite interesting because of some of the things that we spoke of before. When August, first of all, let's go ahead and start out like we normally start out. It says this is Second Ezra 15:1. It says, "Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true." All right. So that's what we do. We speak prophecy, you know, give people the insight of what the Lord's plans are as He reveals them to us, you know. With that being said, His plan is to bring down America. See that? One second. Sorry about that. Take it. All right. So His plan is to take down America. And who is He going to use for that? Ultimately, everybody going to shoot missiles at this place, but um, the ringleader that he has set up to do this is Russia. And you remember in August, uh, Vladimir Putin made a trip over here to the United States and met with Trump in Alaska. And you know, once he landed, he uh, he was greeted with the flyby of some fighter jets that flew over top of them when they landed. And it was a power move trying to show strength, but America doesn't have any strength. It's just a bluff. Everybody around here playing chess and in Chaturanga, but America around here playing checkers and poker. You know, so what's happening is, oh, before I say that, and a question that was asked from Putin to Donald Trump was, next time we meet, why don't we meet in Moscow or in Russia, right? But um, but I don't know. I'm not sure what Trump's answer was. He might like, oh yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. But I seen in an article last week that they were going to do a summit in Bulgaria, which if I'm not mistaken, that's not a part of Russia. Hold on. All right, all right. So Bulgaria is not a part of Russia. So they weren't going to meet in Russia. They're going to meet in Bulgaria. But now with this article popped up uh, last night. It says Trump won't be meeting Putin in the immediate future, U.S. officials said. So now they were supposed to meet next week in Bulgaria and Hungary, but that was canceled, according to this article. All right. So, no, Bulgaria is not part of Hungary or whatever, but Bulgaria. All right. So this article says a proposed summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin appears to be on hold after a U.S. official said there was no plans for Trump to meet with Putin in the immediate future. All right. It says U.S. President Donald Trump has no immediate plans to meet with Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin, a U.S. official said Tuesday, days after Trump said that they would meet within 2 weeks in Budapest. Oh, Budapest. Oh, okay. Not Bulgaria. Budapest. Sorry. I thought it was Bulgaria. All right. Where is Budapest? Okay. Okay, so Budapest is part of Hungary. All right, that's where it is. Budapest, not Bulgaria. Slovakia. All right, so now it said they're supposed to meet, arrange a meeting in Budapest. It said an additional in-person meeting between the secretary and foreign minister is not necessary, and there are no plans for President Trump to meet with President Putin. Wait a minute, I think I skipped the part because all right, yeah, it says U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke by telephone on Monday with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov after President Trump said that the two top diplomats would be meeting this week to arrange a Budapest summit. It says an additional in-person meeting with between the secretary and foreign minister is not necessary, and there is no plan for President Trump to meet with President Putin in the immediate future. Trump administration official said on condition of anonymity. It says the official nevertheless called the call between Rubio and Lavrov productive, whatever that means. It said the Kremlin also said Tuesday there is no precise time frame for a summit between Trump and Putin. Cause they're talking about peace talk. Ain't gonna be no peace, man. Russia's not gonna stop doing what it's doing because NATO's not gonna stop doing what they're doing. See that? Russia is not gonna stop defending its borders because you got the West, NATO, and the European Union trying to surround them. That was the whole purpose when they trying to get when what's it called Ukraine kept trying to get into the to NATO. Russia was like, all right, you got something for all that, and that's what he had for all that. Now he over there. Now he thumping. He wanted to fade behind all that. So so now they're Russia like Trump said he could stop the war within days once he got into office, and he hasn't been able to stop it. He said because of his relationship with Putin that he could stop the war in Ukraine. He ain't have to be in if that was the case. He ain't have to be in office to do that. If their relationship that great, it says it says the Russian leader spoke by telephone on Thursday with Trump, who was set to meet the following day with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to discuss providing U.S.-made Tomahawk missiles that could penetrate deep into Russia, and that would be a game changer right there. But it wouldn't be wise for America to do because if they start sending missiles that America supplied them deep into Russia and they start hitting important parts of Russia, Russia is already engaged with Ukraine, but they're going to turn to America for giving them aid. And they've already said this before. All right, it says Trump halted the call as progress and quickly posted on social media that he would meet within 2 weeks with Putin in Budapest. It marked the latest abrupt shift by Trump, who in August welcomed Putin to Alaska, his first time on Western soil since he ordered the invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. It says Zelensky argued that Trump's decision not to supply Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles for the time being had made the Russians less keen on diplomacy. I mean, diplomacy, however you want to call it, tomato, tomato. So he's saying because Russia was willing, what he's trying to say is Russia was willing to speak peace as long as they knew that Trump was going to supply some of them Tomahawk missiles that could be a game changer in this war. See that? But since he's saying that since Trump no longer wants to meet to discuss that, Russia is no longer interested in diplomacy. It says the Ukrainian president argued that Putin had returned to the bargaining table and called Trump last week when facing the possibility that the United States would supply Ukraine with long-range missiles. But as soon as the pressure eased a little, the Russians began to try to drop the diplomacy, postpone the dialogue, Zelensky said Tuesday in a Telegram post. All right, so, and maybe that conversation that they had is what led Trump to be like, "Yo, let me think about that," because he probably had some. Listen, bro, you do this, this is what's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened. You know, so it says Trump has acknowledged we need to end this war, and only pressure will lead to peace. He said. So he's saying that they need to put pressure on Russia in order to get peace in Ukraine. So Trump has acknowledged his frustrations with Putin after long boasting that he could end the war within days of returning to the White House due to his personal chemistry with the Russian leader. But he's seeing that's not happening. You see that? That's not happening. So with that being said, um, there's not going to be any bargaining when it comes to the situation. I don't think so. It doesn't make any sense. It's too far gone. Um, um, Russia's going to want Ukraine to become a part of the Soviet Union again. Russia was asking for a lot. They came to the peace talk one time before, but Russia was asking for a great deal on the table. So I don't know, man. But we said it before. Like when the elder brought it out, when Putin asked Trump if he would come to Moscow, we had said it before. He ain't gonna do it, and now he wants to meet all the way in um, Budapest. See that? So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Not really many scriptures, but what is it doing? It's showing that conflict between the United States and Russia. Like soon as President Trump, look, he said he would supply Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. That's when the phone call comes in, and a conversation was had between him, um, uh, Putin, and Trump, or really Marco Rubio and Dmitry Leverov, on probably based upon that situation. He let him know, like, listen, this is the consequences for you supplying them Tomahawk missiles. And immediately after the conversation, Trump said, "Yo, we're gonna hold off on that." So something was said to deter America from supplying Ukraine with those Tomahawk missiles, man. All right. Lord willing, this lesson to edify and serve his purpose for the hope elect, the ones who truly believe in the name Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. With that, like I say, call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakak Wadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and double honors to our elder apostle as well, Aharawan Banyashar, all down here in the Lions in camp. Salutation to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.